Welcome to the Women Who Shine series. I'm excited to be here today. I'm your host, Melissa Banks. This is where we're celebrating women who are walking in their purpose, breaking barriers, and lighting the way for others. Each woman featured here has a story that reminds us of the power of faith, resilience, and determination. Today, we're shining the spotlight on Dr. Velma Bagby. Dr. Bagby is a Christian author, a dating relationship coach, speaker, and CEO. A woman whose journey is not only inspiring, but also a beautiful reminder that when women shine, we give others permission to shine too. Thank you, Dr. Velma, for being here today and for sharing your light with us.
I'm excited to be here with you, Melissa. I always enjoy our time together.
Well, thank you for being here. Let's get started at the becoming. I call it the becoming. It's when something you go through some things. This is the beginning where something sometimes I refer to it as a defining moment but it was a turning point for you, whether it was a triumph or maybe a struggle, something you had to overcome, but it was a turning point for you that set you to being the light that you are today.
Yeah, that turning point was retirement. And I had no idea that this was going to be the journey I was going to be taking. This was close to 13 years ago, retiring and thinking that was it for me. Writing was not going to continue. It's going into a box, all of that, until I felt God tell me that I've blessed you with 40 years. That was around 40 years of marriage back then. And he said, but now you need to talk to others and help them discover what they need to do to enjoy the same outcome. And so that's what got me started. I had no idea this is what I was going to be doing. And everything else that you know about me, that you announced about me, evolved over time from that very beginning.
So you know what, Dr. Philma, sometimes we think it's the end, but it's really the beginning. And
That's
that's what
right.
it was for you. So thank
Yep.
you for that. So, Dr. Philma, when you hear woman who shine, what is that? How does that resonate with you? I know when I say it, I can feel it all inside, and it gives me such a great feeling. It really does. It makes me smile. So, how does it resonate with you, and what does it truly mean to you to step into your own light and allow others to see it as well?
Well, I think you gave us clues, the light, the shine, the glow. We had it from the moment we were created. I mean, women were created in a special way. And it's one of the things I try to encourage women to embrace. Gave you all of those wonderful gifts inside of you. Your creation was special. You were designed in a special way. All of your purpose was special. It was you came to fix a bad situation and make it good. I mean, it was just so many credible things he said about us when he created us. So that glow and that shine was already inside of us. It's up to us to embrace it, accept it, and acknowledge it so that other people can see it as well. So that includes your gift, your calling, and everything you've been, assigned to do. So it's all there already. We just have to acknowledge it and then let it glow, let it shine.
Absolutely. And when you were talking, I was feeling excited. The more you talk, the more you talk, I was just feeling, and I could feel your light right there in that moment. So, however, I do want to talk about, because that's what we do on this show. We
Hmm.
don't just talk about the good feel stuff. There are
Yeah,
moments in every journey that is a challenge. So,
yeah.
share with us a moment that you were tested, that maybe even doubted yourself, and what gave you the strength to rise above it.
Well, we just talked about an experience I had just recently, just dealing with grief with the passing of my older sister, who was kind of the matriarch of the family. So we treated her like my mom. That's kind of the respect level we have for her. And in my writing life, I find peace and joy. Creativity is what really fuels me. I enjoy it. It's not work, it's very relaxing, but I couldn't get that back once I began going through the grieving process. And you and I were kind of talking about it a little bit. So I wanted to share that recent experience. I have others, but that was recent. Just a couple of weeks ago, I just couldn't get that desire back to write like I would normally. I'm inspired by what I write. So inspiration has to come. I wait sometimes through prayer. God will tell me something I need to do. Sometimes my publishers would put his finger in my back and make suggestions. But whatever the inspiration, I just did not have that desire to write. And I knew I had a deadline. So it pushing through it, it took a friend of mine to help me walk through that process. So that was difficult. But that's all part of our process. We don't walk by ourselves. We have others that supporting. You kept checking in on me. I was telling Cyrus about how you would send me a message, you okay? That meant the world. So having a group of people who really value who you are and value what you do, because they can be there for you when you need it. And I absolutely needed it during the past month or so because of what I was dealing with. I've never experienced grief like I have this time. I've grieved and had other family members to pass, but this experience was a little wake up call for me because it let me know the reality of what grief really feels like. And so that was a hard time for me.
Sharing that, Dr. Velma, makes me think about how important it is to have people around
Yep.
you that can sense it when you're having a moment or going through something that can lift you up. Sometimes we as women think we have to be by ourselves, we have to get through it, we have to act like we're okay even when we're not. So that is a great testimony of
Yeah,
having the people around you that can inspire you and encourage you when you need that moment. So
absolutely.
that is so important that you shared that with us today.
Yes.
So let me just reset. If you're just joining us, this is the Dream by Design with Melissa Banks special series, Women Who Shine. Our guest today is Dr. Velma Bagby. Dr. Bagby is a Christian author, dating relationship coach, speaker, and CEO. So, Dr. Velma, we're about celebrating wins. Sometimes as women, we downplay our wins. We may
Yeah.
do a post, we'll say something about it, but we basically just downplay it. So, what I want you to do is to take all the limits off, celebrate you so that we can celebrate you as well. Take us back to a moment that was a celebration. It was a win. You felt excited, your heart was excited, and you get excited all over again when you think about that achievement. Share that with us so we can celebrate with you.
In my journey, that would be the moment when I released my very first novel in the Catch series. I remember being very unsure, but I knew this is what I needed to do because when I stepped out into the writing world, I released a nonfiction book. That was normal for people. I'm an ordained minister. I was trained to stick to the scriptures, expound upon the scriptures. It's not about your opinion, all of that. So I wrote my very first book as a nonfiction, thinking that was the route I was supposed to go. And like I said in the beginning, God inspired me to get started on this after retirement, but that was not where I was supposed to be. God took me back to the study of the parables and how Jesus weaved those stories so that whoever he needed to help, he weaved the stories in a way so that the person can resonate with what he used in the story, the way he told the story. He weaved the truth in the story, but he never said to the person, this is what you need to do to fix it or turn around. And I remember saying to myself, now that's the way, that's the approach I want. I want to take the approach to tell the truth but weave it in a fictional way because parables are fictional stories. And I wanted to practice what Jesus did with the parables in my story. So my very first novel of the Catch series was written with that in mind. Those stories about fish, which is what I use, which is familiar with people, became the characters of the wrong in terms of the wrong men to date. And so it so resonated with so many people. I had even my folks who were the ladies who were interviewing me on a podcast show said, "Where was this book when I was dating? I dated all those fish characters in this book. Where was it then?" Those kind of statements just really inspired me. And as a result, it was so well received that it's now a 5 book series. I had no idea that I was going to be writing a series. I thought one book was going to be it and I would move on to something else, but it wasn't. It was the readers who said, and not only the readers, the male readers reached out to me. I had a small pocket of men who were following my my stories and asked me to do the same for them, address the wrong women today. So I included one book in the series that was just for them, the wrong women today. So that that's what really opened my eyes to what I had to say and how important the audience that I have been assigned to was waiting to hear what I had to say and write it. So I'm excited about that.
Well, we're excited too, and let's give you a round of applause because I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the entire series, and I love how you just broke it down. You could feel the excitement. You smiled all the way through it. That's what we wanted. So thank you for sharing your moment
Yes,
with us.
thank you.
Okay, so Dr. Velma, you stay busy. Women, we stay busy on the days where your dream just feels heavy. It just feels heavy today. And maybe the world is just a lot going on. It's noisy. Everything is feeling heavy. What are some ways that you stay grounded and focused on your goals?
My husband and I, we have Starbucks dates. We go every day. That's our time to get away. We're not in a hurry. We always order there. We can easily order for a pickup, but we're not doing that. We drive past one Starbucks to another one, which is further away on purpose. So we go there and we order the same. Everybody there knows us. We go there. That's something we do to relax. I also have to remember that I have a family and I have family who has challenges that they have and support that they need here. So I always pull away to do that. But only recently, my husband and I started going to a workout. We would normally take my grandson, who's 23, and he's going into fire academy. That's his goal. So he had to go to a specific um, gym that focused on firefighters to help build the core, which is what's important for them because of the heavy equipment they have to carry. So we take him early morning every Tuesday and Thursday, and it just dawned on both of us. We're going there anyway, sitting in our car while our grandson is in the field working out. Why not go in and talk to them to see if both of us can join? I have a shoulder that was injured. I have a low back that was injured. I can use that help. My husband said he had some challenges too, so we both joined. So those are some of the things you could do is just remember to take care of yourself. I could be busy doing a lot because sitting is writing. I'm sitting and writing, but I have to move my body and take care of it. And of course, the core, which is where I have one of my injuries, I have to strengthen that. Without the core being strong, it affects the rest of the body. So that's one of the things that we're doing. We're going to the gym now, Tuesdays and Thursdays, early morning for an hour to work out and stretch and do what we need to do to keep our bodies healthy. Besides that, it's meditation, relaxation, all of that. But those are some things I decided or we decided to do. And we focus on sometimes you have to pull back and focus on yourself. And if there's more than just you in the house, you got to think about something you have to do with the other people in your household as well.
I love that. And the key thing is you all are intentional about it.
Yeah.
And that's why it works for you. I love the idea that it dawned on you, why are we sitting in the car waiting on him for an hour? I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. So, Dr. Velma, there is women watching this episode right now and laughing with you and cheering with you. Your story is so inspiring. But they have that big dream as well, but they feel stuck and afraid. Talk to us about what you would say to remind her that she has everything she needs inside to step out and shine.
The fact that you're thinking about it tells you that's what you're supposed to be doing. So the goal you have now is to discover what is it you're to do, what approach should you use, and how should you do it. And the way I did answer those questions is I began reading how-to books. I began studying what it is I was about to do. Yes, I wrote in the corporate world and business, but I had not understood or taken the time to understand what the literary world would expect of me as a writer. And those are the things you need to make sure you understand. That includes what particular topic you're going to go into because there's specific rules tied to the topic, the genre, there's specific rules, how many, there's a word count requirement. There's even rules like show, don't tell, depending on fiction, if you're writing fiction versus nonfiction. So there's so many little details about writing that's more than just your writing. You need to know what they are. So as you approach it, you make sure that you're following those rules and that you understand it. And then trust an expert. I had to invest in an editor, but I didn't give her a project that required her to rewrite it. I made sure I understood what I had to do. I made sure I understood the rules and then prepared a manuscript for her to then, as an editor, to go through it. So that's what you want to do. That editor is not designed to rewrite your project for you. Their job is to see that the project is ready for your audience. And so therefore you need to make sure you understand it. Take your time. There's lots of how-to books. I got them and they helped me. And then I there are plenty of how-to guides even online that you can download. I had my own little folder of those guides that I needed to be familiar with. For instance, I hate reading dialogue that says she said and then he said and then they said and then he said. There's a guide that you can Google and find that says what 300 ways not to say said, the word said. There's different ways you can introduce it. So I'm just giving you an example. You just want to be familiar with those tools, have them in your arsenal so you're ready to write something that's perfectly ready for the audience that's waiting to hear what you have to say, because nobody can say it like you.
You know, Dr. Velma, that's great advice because I believe that when we do the research, we those fears that we have,
Yep,
most of the time they're based on what we don't know. So when we do
absolutely.
the research, it causes us to gain that confidence to move to the next step. And another thing you said that I thought was really powerful and a lot of us need to hear and was key to my entire journey when I began to do this as well is hire an expert
Yep.
because that expert is going to keep you comfortable. And then you don't have to feel so afraid that you have to get it all right and be perfect because you have someone who knows right there with you. So thank you for those tips. Now,
Mhm.
one final question, Dr. Velma, is when people look at your life, when they hear your journey, what is it that you want them to feel or to remember and to be inspired to do because of your example?
I hope they can hear the truth in what I share. I hope that because I share the truth of my experience, it resonates with them, it speaks to them. The light bulb will go off. I remember when I thought like that. I hope that that's what the response will be because I try to be as transparent as possible in my stories and my writing. I think that's important because I know that's what the audience needs. And so I hope that's the response I get.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Velma. As always, you have been such a light for us to sit here and chat with today. You look absolutely amazing. Your smile makes me smile and will make everyone who sees this episode smile as well. So, give some final words to our audience and let our audience know how they can stay connected to you and support you in all that you do.
Well, I'm just excited to be able to be interviewed by the most shiniest person I know. I am so excited to be here on your platform, Melissa, and I thank you for having me and even thinking and considering me to be amongst all the other fabulous women you have lined up. I would love to hear from all of you. You can reach me on any of the social media platforms. Connect and subscribe to my website, my YouTube channel. It's all Dr. Velma Bagby, and also my website, drvelmabagby.com. You can subscribe there. So feel free to reach out. I look forward to hearing from you.
Well, thank you again for being here. Thank you for opening your heart and sharing your incredible journey with us today. Your story is a reminder that no matter where you start, we all have the ability to rise, to dream, and to shine. To every woman watching, I hope you felt encouraged today and inspired to keep moving toward your purpose. I'm your host, Melissa Banks, saying your light is needed, your voice matters, and your shine is powerful. So until next time, keep shining.